Have you ever felt like even after giving everything you had, it still wasn't enough? Have you ever offered your time, your patience, your love, your ability to listen, your faith, to someone who hurt you instead of valuing and healing you? Someone who demanded more instead of thanking you? Someone who used against you the very things you trusted them with instead of protecting them? There is a kind of exhaustion inside you that doesn't come from work, routine, or the ordinary struggles of life. It is the exhaustion of trying to love someone who turns your love into a burden. You try to speak, but they twist your words. You try to help, but they turn your help into an obligation. You try to forgive, and they use your forgiveness as permission to hurt you again. And slowly, without even realizing it, you begin to believe a dangerous lie. That being a good person means enduring everything and remaining silent all the time. As if humility means accepting humiliation. As if gentleness means having no boundaries. But God never taught that. God isn't teaching pride here. And He isn't teaching you to look down on people. He is teaching you wisdom and discernment. He is telling you that there is something sacred within you, and that it shouldn't be handed over carelessly to everyone. Think of a priceless treasure placed into careless hands. The person holding it may not understand its value. They may not recognize its beauty. They may not know what it truly is. To them, it is not a treasure. It is only something ordinary, strange, or unimportant. And so they destroy what they cannot recognize. Sometimes, this is exactly what happens in relationships. You offer sincerity, and the other person responds with manipulation. You offer trust, and the other person responds with betrayal. You offer love, and the other person responds with control. And this is important. When someone tramples on what you offered, it doesn't mean what you gave had little value. It only means they were unable to recognize the sacred thing placed in their hands. And sometimes, continuing to insist while calling it virtue, actually means abandoning yourself. So who are the people we are talking about here? Not imperfect people. Not people who think differently. Not wounded people, because all of us carry wounds. God is speaking here about a repeated pattern. About people who take what is sacred and treat it as if it has no value. People who receive love and respond with coldness. People who receive trust and respond with manipulation. People who receive forgiveness and continue using it as permission to wound you again. People who always want access to your heart, but never take responsibility for the pain they cause. And the hardest part is that many times, these people are close to us. In a relationship where you are always expected to be the understanding one. In a friendship where you are always the mature one. In a family bond where setting boundaries is treated as ingratitude. In a connection where you feel exhausted, yet even the thought of walking away fills you with guilt. They don't only hurt you because of what they do. They hurt you because they confuse your mind. You begin doubting your feelings. You begin over-explaining yourself. You begin apologizing even for your pain. And slowly, you lose the ability to recognize the difference between love and abuse. Walking away from someone who hurts you isn't a lack of love. Sometimes it is wisdom. You can love someone and still understand that they no longer have unlimited access to your heart. You can forgive someone without allowing the same closeness again. You can pray for someone without returning to the place that keeps making your soul sick. You can hope for restoration without continuing to offer yourself to the same destructive cycle. God commands us to forgive. But He doesn't command us to live without boundaries. He commands us to love. But He doesn't command us to tolerate abuse. He commands us to pray for those who hurt us. But He doesn't command us to place our peace into their hands. Maybe for a long time you kept thinking, if I love them more, they will change. If I explain myself better, then they will finally understand. If I forgive one more time, maybe this time things will be different. If I endure a little longer, maybe everything will finally get better. But not everything always gets better. Because there are people who don't want healing in that moment. They only want to keep using you. And today, someone needs to hear this without guilt, fear, or shame. Stop. They don't have the right. If every chance you give is being used against you, then they aren't entitled to one more chance. This isn't hatred. This isn't revenge. This isn't cruelty. This is saying no to the thing that is slowly destroying you. Only God can transform a human heart. You aren't anyone's savior. You aren't responsible for healing someone who refuses to change. And when you truly understand that, a deep peace begins to arrive. Sometimes the most mature response is not insisting. It is silence. Not the silence of cowardice, but the silence of someone who has already spoken, already tried, already cried, and finally chooses not to surrender themselves to the same pattern anymore. Maybe for a long time you thought setting boundaries was selfish. But it isn't. Setting boundaries can be an act of faith. Because it means recognizing that your heart is valuable. Your peace is valuable. Your soul was not created to live crushed and exhausted. God did not entrust you with the garden inside your heart so that everyone could enter, trample it, destroy it, and walk away without responsibility. What He placed inside you is precious. Your faith is precious. Your peace is precious. Your sensitivity is precious. Your ability to love is precious. And precious things shouldn't be handed over carelessly just because you are afraid of disappointing someone. Give your pearls wisely. Give them to those who recognize their value. To those who treat your soul with respect. To those who don't laugh at your pain. To those who don't use your kindness as an open door for exploitation. And above all, give your pearls to God first. Because before any human being recognized your value, God already saw it. Before someone trampled on what you offered, God already saw your pain. Even before you found the words to explain your feelings, God already understood the weight you were carrying in silence. And maybe this is exactly where your healing begins. The moment you stop chasing the person who keeps hurting you, and begin protecting, before God, the thing He is rebuilding inside you. God isn't asking you to save everyone. He is asking you not to lose your own soul in the process. And sometimes, the thing that finally saves you is no longer chasing them. If this message touched your heart, and you want more content like this, don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel. Stay close to God, and protect your peace.